Good Thursday morning, everyone. Bam weather meteorologist Matt Griffin here with your latest forecast update about Hurricane Helene. Certainly looks to be a high impact system here. I want to move to the corner of the screen, and as the sun is rising this morning, you can see the eye wall very clearly here in Helene as it's rapidly intensifying here and strengthening as it makes its way towards the Florida coast here. And even as we head inland here, going to be impacts for heavy rain. Some stronger winds can reach further inland, especially into Georgia here. Western Florida, some wind impacts as well here. And then obviously the heavy rain that's going to be associated with Helene as well. I want to kick things off. We're taking a look at our latest tracks here. And we have it making landfall as a low-end Category 4. Maybe it makes landfall as a high-end Category 3. Regardless, the impacts will be the same, whether it's a 3 or a 4. I wouldn't lose track of that here because it's going to be high impact regardless. You can see in purple 15 plus storm surge from western Florida and then through the panhandle of Florida here as well. It could probably even continue to maintain tropical storm strength as it approaches the Atlanta area as well. Right now it is a Category 2 and it's intensifying. Okay. So certainly going to be a high impact system here. As far as the wind swaths are concerned, where it makes near landfall, near Tallahassee, especially just kind of along the eye wall and just to the east, some 120 mile per hour winds will be possible. Some 90 plus mile per hour winds can extend further inland here. And then surrounding that decreases a little bit, with the exception you get caught under a stronger storm. There can be some stronger wind gusts in here and tornadoes as well. In fact, I want to bring up this as well as far as the severe potential today. This is excluding some areas into Florida as well. But as some of these bands wrap around the eye wall, and the potential for some wind gusts, 60, 70 plus miles per hour under the stronger cells, and then concerned about tornadic activity as well. Anywhere in green, that risk increases kind of further to the east we work here as far as the severe threat is concerned here. We get an idea, and this is the clarity radar we're showing. We can see the widespread areas of showers and thunderstorms that are out ahead of the core of Helene here. Actually, you can see a tornado warning into Florida here as well. We've got all types of hazards going on: flood watches, hurricane warnings, tropical storm watches, storm surge warnings, so on and so forth here. There's a lot going on. Check out your application for a little bit more information on kind of what's pertaining to you in particular. But obviously near where this makes landfall, this hurricane, those hurricane warnings going to have the greatest kind of impact in some of these areas here. Wouldn't be shocked if maybe they could shift some of the hurricane warnings a little bit further to the east here. Regardless, we take a look at a generalized progression. I'm going to use this European model product just to give us a generalized idea here. And you can see the eye wall making its advance off to the north and to the east. Now, this is getting into the afternoon around the 5 p.m. Eastern time frame. The rain and storms out ahead will continue. Now, especially as we head into the afternoon, I think we need to watch for some of the activity out ahead, whether you're in Florida or stretching up to the north and to the east into some of the higher elevation areas into the Carolinas, or even closer to the coast, especially into South Carolina. Some of these bands that work through, the wind gusts and even tornadic potential will be possible here. Let's watch as we get near about the 10 p.m. time frame tonight for this to make landfall again near Tallahassee and the Big Bend of Florida here. And as it does so, certainly going to provide for some of those hurricane type of winds next to the eye wall. But I do think this is going to be one of those systems that has a rather large wind field associated with it. So even further removed from the eye wall, still probably going to be dealing with those impacts. May not necessarily be hurricane impacts, but tropical storm force type of winds will be felt fairly widespread here. And this will continue to move inland as we head into the morning hours of Friday. This is a snapshot. As we get towards about 5 a.m. getting into Friday morning, you can still see some bands wrapping around here, especially in South Carolina, and there still remains that potential for stronger storms on these bands here, and tornadic activity as well here. This will continue to make its advance off to the east. You can see getting later into Friday morning, this is a snapshot as we get towards 11 a.m. Some rain showers still into northern Georgia, into South Carolina here, but it's more of these bands of concern here into North Carolina here that will continue to move off to the east as we head into Friday afternoon here. Okay, the obvious kind of deal as well with this is going to be the rains here. I don't mind what the folks at the WPC have, and notice this yellow area here, kind of the target zone, the highlight zone for heavy rain. 4 to 6 inches, I think, will be fairly common in this area, and especially some of those higher elevation areas. I mean, we're talking 6+ inches of rain here. Plenty of rain further to the east here. You know, a lot of areas picking up 1 to 2 inches, locally 3 inches will be at play, and then you can see a rather sharp cutoff into Mississippi, or northern Mississippi into Alabama here, where, again, there will be probably a tight gradient. Any shifts in the track of Helene here will have a big impact into some of these areas as far as the rainfall amounts are concerned here. So keep that in mind. But some heavy rain, certainly some flooding issues can arise out of this as well when we're talking about rainfall totals like this as well here. Again, to kind of time out the winds here, again, this is around landfall here. You can see as it moves up to the north, heading into the afternoon, some strong winds will be possible along the western border or the western coastline of Florida here. So keep in mind, some tropical storm force winds, maybe some at times some hurricane force type of gusts will be possible along western Florida. But look at this wind field, how expansive it is around midnight here. It's a rather large wind field that continues here. And let's watch out even kind of coastal Georgia, coastal South Carolina. We could see some impacts, some minor storm surge issues, and some tropical storm type of impacts as well along the coast in some of those areas, as well as the wind field drags around the core of Helene here. This is getting into Friday morning around the 5 a.m. time frame here, okay? So that's the latest thinking with this high impact system. Please reach out with those questions. Hit that chat button in the application. We'll be more than happy to help everyone out. In the meantime, stay safe out there. Good luck for those who are kind of into the crosshairs of Helene, and we'll be chatting with you guys soon.